Al Bandura, a great American philosopher, once said, "We're lost, but we're making good time." As you move into a task analysis, it's very important that you don't get lost, that you always be focusing on the information that is critical for your particular task analysis. The only way you can do that is to know where you're going and to clearly define the scope or the parameters in which you want to work in. And so the first step in a task analysis is really to identify what I call a scope objective. It's where you establish the parameters, the range in which you are going to be working in to identify the concepts and the tasks. That requires you to identify your audiences. It requires you to identify the subject or what it is that you're going to be documenting. It may be hardware, software, a combination of those, and also then identifying the types of content or information that you need to be identifying. An example of a scope objective would be something like this. At the completion of this task analysis, we're going to identify all of the tasks and all of the concepts that a network engineer needs to understand and be able to perform in order to configure a router. That would be a scope objective. Again, unless you have defined that clearly, you're going to find yourself moving into areas that you may not need to go into. It's very important in this first step to establish that. Now, you don't need to wait until you get to the meeting to establish that scope objective. It's actually more helpful to establish that ahead of time and to then refine it or polish it off when you pull your subject matter experts together.